Aubrey with Vitality Fitness and Wellness, and I'm coming to you today with some great exercises if you're recovering from a meniscus tear. So meniscus tears happen in your knee. They can often happen with a plant and a twist motion. So this might be happening in tennis or pickleball or maybe just in everyday life. The symptoms that you might have with your meniscus tear are pain with deep squats, or maybe even a feeling of like your knee is catching or giving way when you're walking. So we have some great exercises to give you a little bit of mobility in that knee and take some pain and pressure off, as well as some strengthening exercises to keep your body strong and stable. So the first one is a really simple exercise that you can do throughout the day. You're going to go to a surface that is slightly elevated and sit on it. You're going to make sure that your thighs are supported, and you're just going to swing your legs gently back and forth as if you were a little kid, right? So just small motion, dangle your legs, make sure your feet are not touching the floor, and just gently swing them back and forth. This is going to give a little distraction to the joint, take a little pressure off of the joint and get some good juices flowing through the joint to help it feel better. Your next exercise is a good supported strengthening exercise. You can have hands on the wall or maybe the countertop to be nice and supported. You're going to stand nice and tall. Hips are forward, toes are forward. You're going to lift your leg out to the side and slowly bring it back in. Toes are forward, hips are forward. Don't turn out this way. Keep everything forward and slowly bring it back in. So you're going to bring it up and slowly lower. You're going to go for anywhere between 8 and 15 repetitions. You're working these muscles on your outer hip muscles. You're working the moving leg as well as the standing and stabilizing leg as well. Make sure you do both. Your next exercise is a supported calf raise. So we are in a good shoulder width stance. You've got hands on the countertop or fingertips on the wall as needed. Make sure your feet are nice and neutral here, not turned out. You're going to go heels up, slowly lower down. Heels up, slowly lower down. Make sure that your ankles don't fall out or come in as you're doing this exercise, but they stay nice and neutral and that you take that good tempo. So we're going with all of our strengthening exercises. We're going for a quick bit on the first part and then slow on the next one. So quick and then slow. It's going to give you a little bit more bang for your buck when you're doing your strengthening exercises. Your next exercise, we're going to use a chair or a steady surface. You can even add a cushion if you feel like you can't do the full range of motion of a steady dining chair. You can add a cushion to be a little bit higher. We're going to have our toes pointing forward, our knees pointing forward, and our knees about hip width apart. I'm going to have my hands up like this or across my chest, or I could even use them to press on my thighs if I needed to. We're going to come up and stand and then take that slow count 3, 2, 1 to sit. When you do this exercise, make sure that your knees stay nice and steady and aligned the way they are right here. Try not to let them sink in as you come down especially. So you want to keep them nice and neutral. Don't let them go in like this as you come down. You want to keep them nice and steady here. You could also work on a squat. That's an alternative to a squat that's working your glutes and your quads, but you could also work on a squat that's a little bit more quad focused and a smaller range of motion. So you would take a cushion or a wedge or anything. You could even take a textbook or anything that you can put your heels up on. So I'm going to put my heels up on this cushion. My feet are about shoulder width apart, so they're a little bit more narrow than my regular squat. My toes are down on the floor, the ball of my foot is down on the floor, my heels are just up on this cushion. So I'm in a slightly angled position. From here, I can take my hands up this way, which is the way I like to have them when I do a squat, to remind me to keep a nice open chest and keep my upper body up. I'm going to come down into a squat with my knees straight in line, and then up nice and tall. So my knees are going right in line here with my toes, and then up nice and tall. So from the side, it looks like this. You want to make sure that when you do your squat, your hips go back and then you come up. That you don't go straight down like this, because that puts a lot of pressure on your knees. But if you take that hinge and let those hips come back and then come up tall, you're getting a less pressure on the knees. By being elevated on your wedge or your surface, you're getting more focus on the quads for this squat, which is a good progression for somebody who might have a meniscus problem. And then the last exercise that we're going to go through today is just a bridge down on the floor. Or I can be on my bench, so either way. But you could be down on the floor, I'm going to be on my bench so that you can see me nice and clearly. I'm going to lie onto my back, bring my feet in a hip-width stance. Make sure my feet are not too far away from me, because I'll get a cramp in my hamstring. And make sure they're not too close, or I'll get too much pressure on my knees. I'm going to pull my core muscles up and in. Make sure I really squeeze my tush and lift. Hold it for a beat or two and slowly lower down. So nice and neutral here at the top and slowly lower down. Not going up too high. Coming up quick, holding it for a beat or two and slowly lower down. If you want to get the hamstrings firing a little bit more to work those, which is good for your meniscus as well, you can drive those heels down, pull your toes up, and get a little bit more of a hamstring focused bridge, like this. So all of those exercises, you're going to shoot for anywhere between 8 and 15 repetitions and go through 2 to 3 sets. That's how you're going to work your strengthening exercises to make sure that you're building good stability and support through your muscles to protect your joints and all the structures inside of them. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more information and videos to help you feel your best and thrive after 55.